All right, sound test. Let's see if this is actually working. Alrighty then. Well, a large part of this is going to be for historical record purposes and not, live interaction for the most part because this wasn't planned. This is kind of like an off the cuff thing that I decided decided to do because of the fact that I've been thinking all day about a question Bordick has posed, and this was the only valid answer I could come up with. Oh well. Anyways, moving on. So the question was about. Let's go back to the phrasing. Well, it's basically just, the original post is actually just a general request for feedback. He actually uses that phrase, general request for feedback. What are your thoughts? And that's about as far as it goes. Thing is, it's a vague and open-ended thing that I look at it and I'm like, okay, I have lots of things to think about, especially since he lists 9 different maps. 9. Anyways, so I decided to go down the list in order. All right, so Nimbus. Nimbus is interesting because of the fact that it is so obviously. Um, oh, that guy's still here. Um, Designed from the ground up as essentially multiple maps that are adjacent to each other. You have the city here, which is kind of dead. let's be real. Aesthetically, it feels right, though. It's like it's supposed to feel like a frontier town cobbled together out of whatever the people could find laying around. I mean, like I said, aesthetically, great stuff. Now, having a shortcut dingus where you can activate a transporter to go from place to place. Why can't I just tell my ship to do this? Why do I need to use this thing? Why can't I just, like, record the coordinates in my ship's computer and then just tell my transporter officer on my ship to relocate me there? I like the mechanic of a fast travel system that explicitly uses teleporters. Great idea. I wish it was in more places in the game. Yeah, I'm going to throw that out there starting off. The idea, great stuff. The specific logic of how it gets implemented is kind of head-scratching. Like, why do I need to use this old busted teleporter when I already have one that presumably works better? Now, I get the logic in Star Trek of transporter pads beaming from pad to pad is better than site to site for reasons related to reliability and safety or something like that. But we beam down the hard way anyways. It's not like it's like life-threatening experience, despite what Dr. Henry McCoy would tell you. Granted, people do die that way, but they die beaming pad to pad. Like, seriously, that one from TMP, the extra gory one, just to show what it's like to die in a transporter malfunction and why McCoy hates transporters. That one was beaming from pad to pad. Anyway, enough about that. The other gripe I have about this, and this is one that's a bit weird. Like I said before, Nimbus feels like several different maps that just happen to be adjacent to each other. There are certain things that are commonalities that, you know, increase the, I guess you could say, shared feel so that it's not just feeling like a complete different location. Like, you know, it's like similar architecture, the fact that everything is covered in sand, you know, stuff like that. Thing is, though, it's just like, give these blatantly obvious separations between them. Like, the coolest thing you guys did when you were building this was actually to make it so that there are logical connections between some of them. Like, hold on a sec. Anyway, though, logical connections, we have them, and they're actually quite good. We don't have a whole lot of them. That's the main thing that I found kind of annoying. It's like, you walk out of the ruins area, and there's just not much connecting it. Sorry about that. It has stuff in it that, you know, kind of vaguely resembles the rest of the stuff. That's mostly just the, anyway. Yeah, that. Oh, that brings up another thing. The map isn't actually all that challenging if you're a skilled player. Now, if you're a noob who doesn't know what they're doing, you might end up like this guy, because this is another player here whose bridge officers are getting their butts handed to them. Why? How? I'm genuinely not sure. He regrouped his bridge officers, but all that really did was relocate their bodies. Anyway. Yeah. That's one of my big commentary things, is that the normal version of this is a low-level area. It's the only non-admiral level ground war zone. And it's hilariously easy for people who are admiral level. I mean, like, I just walked up to the queen bug and I'm like, die please. Could have like soloed the entire thing without even having my bridge officers help me. And it's an open world area that you have other players in. Like that guy who probably would have died if I didn't help him. Whereas my team just kind of like step on things because they annoy me. Oh yeah. So like one thing with Otha is that Otha actually has multiple different levels because of the fact that different versions of Otha exist for different level ranges because reasons, which part of that is actually just the fact that it's a PvP thing, and it has certain strong differences. But Otha is an open world environment, and yeah, it's kind of like an arena that resets instead of being a proper open world map. It has a lot of things in common with open world maps, though. Even though it's really kind of like the entire map is about the size of the ruins area here. I mean, let's be real. Otha is not a particularly I guess the best way to put it is that it's not a particularly complicated area. It looks cool. It has interesting lore implications due to the way it works and stuff. But it's like vague ideas more than actual meat and potatoes kind of a story thing. And I guess that is the reason why you left Otha out of here, because it's not a battle zone. It's not an adventure zone. It's more like a PvP deathmatch with extra steps. It is hilarious to actually go through the PvE aspect of it and finish all of these story tasks, and then have someone like kick you in the back of the head and kill you, even though you already won the match, because I got the objectives. Screw you. What happened to Satra? Is this Gorn chasing her? How did she aggro Gorn? Anyways. Hey Gorn, how about you stop? Oh, the engineer spawned. Fine. Go kill the engineer. To be quite honest, I'm kind of done with this entire area. So I guess, certain of the complaints here are like simple. It's like you have the rock towers that respawn endlessly and can knock back things in directions that don't actually exist. Yeah, getting up on those platforms and killing those guys the old-fashioned way, oh, that is so much fun. Let's do it. Well, close enough. Anyways. Alright, so yeah. If I was to change something about Nimbus, what would it be? Filler! Yeah, that's right. Nimbus needs more filler. What do I mean by filler? It just has empty voids between the areas where you do things. It just feels wrong, to put it a simple way. It's like, it makes sense to not have all of the enemies all of the places. Because, you know, it's like the ruins are taken over by the stupid worm things for whatever reason. I don't actually understand that one, but whatever. So it makes sense to not have the scorpion things in the ruins because they would have to fight the worms, or, well, logically they would do that. Game mechanics wise, dumping the scorpions on top of the worms actually does absolutely nothing because they're coded as the same faction, but you could fix that if you wanted to as a developer, I think. Anyways. But like this here, it's just like a complete void of nothing. Like you have the scorpions living over there. You have the canyon edge over here. Nothing. No enemies. You don't even have Gorn where they can see you. The Gorn are like down in the canyon. You don't even come up the edge of the canyon. Scorpions! Scorpions don't come over to the edge of the canyon. They don't even come close to it. Then you have that area over there with the stupid worms where, as you saw earlier, you have to run a significant distance just to get from the part of the canyon where you don't have enemies anymore to the part where the worms live. Yes, I think it would be hilarious having the pirates living in that hunk of junk over there, getting into fights with scorpions because a scorpion wandered up their driveway and entered their place they live. I personally think it would be hilarious. I mean, do you guys even have that flag you can put on enemies where they don't actually take damage until a player aggroes them? Then you could have like this ongoing firefight that's completely unending until a player gets involved to break up the stuff. Whatever. I mean, it's an idea that I personally think would be good. Also, another thing I find is interesting is just how much of the scenery in this map is distant crap you can't actually look at. Realistically, trying to make a proper world map and like have it look like a world, you're not actually going to have a player go to all of the places. Realistically, in a game like Star Trek Online, you can't do that. Cool, makes perfect sense. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that, pretty. Anyways. Yeah. Okay, so that's enough for Nimbus. Time to switch to the next one. Wait, what was the next one on the list anyways? Doop, 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 doop. Oh yeah, you listed Defera as the second one. Okay. one of the oldest invasion zones sort of maps in the game. So I'm going to look at this one with my first character, which is also the character that I've spent the most time on the Pharaoh with. So hey, whatever. Screw frequency remodulators. You know, that dialogue about frequency remodulators would actually be something that you guys could modify, since the concept of remodulators is different. So this is a game zone where you actually have a good reason to have transporters that are limited. Why? Well, because you're going to places that aren't necessarily open to your transporters. Also, yes, I do love the old low resolution cityscape. I think it looks good. Would it be nicer if it was shinier? Perhaps. It's fine. Anyways, it's like the logic here is that the fact that the Borg are attempting to capture stuff and take over stuff would mean that you have things inhibiting transporters. So you need to use their transporters because theirs are specially calibrated to cut through the interference caused by that giant thing. Stupid Borg mushroom. Needs to be blown up. Anyway, though. But that logic means that you actually have a reason to use the Deferi transporters instead of using your own. Anyway. As a location, this one doesn't suffer from the same problem that the Nimbus one does, in terms of having voids. It's like here you have areas that, like, okay, yes, it's a transition area, but it's not empty. There's stuff here. Like, there's Borg to shoot at. There's whatever the flip this thing is. I guess it's one of the feet of the giant Borg mushroom. And, you know, this is just like a filler area, but it's a filler area that doesn't feel empty. Why do I have like 20 Borg staring at me? Seriously, do you guys really want me to kill you that badly? Whatever. Moving on. And that was one of the things about this, though, that really kind of like made me like it more than Nimbus in some ways. Is that, yes, this is a very, very monotonous in terms of scenery area, but it's meaningful monotony. It's like, oh yes, this is Deferi building number 17. Slightly different than the previous one, but it gives you a feeling of familiarity. You look at a building, you know what it is. You're like, okay, this is that is that, next, and you just like move on with it. Because like the buildings looking samey has meaning from an in-universe perspective. It doesn't feel wrong having the buildings look the same. Oh yeah, I'm on a character that I can't really do much with. Actually, you know what? There is something I could do to help.
Enemy targets on sensors.
Photonic barrier generator. Enough of this. Anyway. But yeah, it's like having different sections of the Deferi city just logically makes sense as having a different map section. Because, you know, the Deferi city wasn't a single contiguous whole, so it makes sense to not have the playable areas be a single contiguous whole, because this is that thing, that is the other thing. Do I actually know what any of these buildings is for? No. Okay, some of the buildings are actually explicitly labeled as houses of the Deferries, but that's as far as any of this goes. Having the power plant be an interior instance when the rest of this is exterior, it works. I mean, there's a functional logic to it, and this weird ruin thing. This is the stuff that the Deferi consider is be old and valuable, and of archaeological significance. Then you have the new stuff that's the city that they actually live in, and not what they consider to be ancient relics. And they happen to have ancient relics that predate their civilization that people are studying for reasons that are relevant to the Borg. You know what? It's the entire reason the Borg are invading is because they have ancient relics that predate the Deferi civilization. Cool stuff, honestly. Great world building and what's the word for it? It's a phrase I use rather often. Visual storytelling. Like, it tells a story by placing things on a map, and doesn't just read the story to the player. It shows you the story. Love it. That was actually one of the best parts of this. Heck, having those weird spikes sticking out of the ground looking screwy actually means something, which is shocking, honestly. This is actually just a burnt out tree. Now, why do Deferi trees end up like this when they're burned? Well, I've actually seen trees in real life that can end up like this, so I'm not going to say that this is wrong. Whatever. Anyway, though, had fun talking about this one. I guess I will move on to the next one, which is Nukara. Okay, so Nukara is part of the stuff you guys did experimenting with the EV suit mechanic and making stuff that's specific to EV suits and blah, 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 blah. This is actually an incredibly fun map to explore because of just how vertical everything is. There are places you can get to that you're not really supposed to get to. I love it. Anyway, but also it has a strong interior component, much like Defera does. Honestly, things I would do, there's not a whole lot of things I actually think need to be changed about this. That's actually one of the things about Nukara that's kind of interesting. Is like, once you've established the actual reason why the Tholians are here, it's one of those things where I guess you could say that you outgrow it. It's the simplest way I can think of to put it. It's like the reason you come here had to do with something story thing happened, but after that story event is over, more or less, players just don't have a reason to come back here. It's like, because like the story relevance of Nukara is approximately equivalent to a single featured episode. Like, seriously. It's like the actual like story aspect of this is something that would take up the volume of a single story mission, then you're done, and the entirety of the Nukara everything is over. Which is the problem with Nukara, is that, and that's the reason why people don't come here for a lot of things, is because of the fact that you come here, you muck with stuff, you leave, and then you're done. You just don't have a reason to come back. and yeah, that is a bit of a problem. It's like it's the same thing with Nimbus, and probably a big fundamental flaw with the battle zones is, and why you guys made endeavors to screw with the battle zones, is that players just like, because getting new Kara marks is like, there's a lot of sources of those. Coming here and doing one of the daily task things really isn't actually a particularly good source of new Kara marks. You can do a queue mission for that. Heck, you just hit the random button and it'll give you whatever marks you want. There's no elite marks for new Kara, so you don't even have a special reward for doing elite versions of queues for new Kara even. You just get more marks. It's... From a gameplay perspective, it works. From a story perspective, I guess you could say, it's there. It's like, ultimately, Nukara is a fun place to visit. Like, if you have a specific reason to farm a certain specific thing, you can come here to farm that specific thing. And then you're done. It's like doing stuff, looking around at all of the really cool scenery is, again, it's just like, if you have a hankering for that, cool, but most people won't have a hankering for that often. Well. In terms of the way it's designed, there are aspects of this I genuinely love. Like the fact that you guys actually have a script for Tholian writing, and if you learn the way this script works, you can actually kind of sort of read stuff. Also, the lighting here seems to be off. Whatever. Because, like, see here, this is really, really cool. Love it. Aesthetically, this stuff is actually quite nice. Because, like, the Tholians aren't, you know, a race of crystallurgists. They actually have technology. Like, they do crystal manipulation stuff. But it's not the majority of how they construct items. Love the fact that you guys came up with a solid aesthetic for that. Do kind of wish we actually had a proper Tholian ship interior, but that's a big ask, I think, honestly. Yeah. Alrighty then. Yeah, this and Defera have essentially the same fundamental issues. It's like, Defera, there are things that are unique to Defera that you can come to Defera still for and get a genuine benefit out of. There's very few of them, though. And it's mostly the Borg junk related crafting things. It's like earning Borg marks is a piece of cake. Like, the most commonly played TFOs in space, like you click the random TFO button and it'll just dump you into infected space. Like, oh, hey, more Borg marks. Heck, you can get Borg marks and Tholian marks simultaneously when you hit the random button, because the main reward is Borg marks, and then you get the random reward box, and then out of that you choose Tholian marks, and boom, 2 reps in one go. I'm not saying it's RTFO system is bad. I'm saying that it means that people who want Tholian marks now have no reason to come here at all, ever. Because, while you can do daily tasks here to get Tholian marks, it's the slow way, quite frankly. Anyway, moving on. What was the next one anyway? Nukara, New Romulus. All right, so when New Romulus came out, I did something that I had never done before or since. You guys put up the New Romulus storyline on Tribble for beta testing, and I played the entire New Romulus storyline on Tribble twice. On Tribble. Why? Because it was that much fun. I loved it. It was great. And yes, I am one of the many, many people who looks at this and is like, "Aw, I wish we could go down there, but I know we can't." Because I've actually been down there in the Foundry. Oh, yeah, I had fun screwing around with those props in the Foundry. Unfortunately, this is about all there is to see. I know, it's sad. But it is what it is. So, New Romulus. Aesthetically, it's amazing. In terms of story, yeah, I'm one of the people where I'm like, yes, it looks exactly the same as it did when it was added to the game, however many years ago. There is actually a feeling of progression because this isn't the New Romulus as it was when you first come here map. It really isn't. However, the only people who see the way it was when you first get here are the people who actually played through the Romulan story outline. And even then, you only have a reason to do it once and then maybe forget about it. Is it a great story? Yes, absolutely. I love it. But it's kind of like a tutorial.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to give this map the same criticism I did the Nimbus map of having zones that feel like padding. It does, but the padding is less annoying because it feels more organic because of the fact you don't have enemies tightly clustered in most of the parts of the map. Here, it feels like the enemies have reasons for being in certain locations, and other than those reasons for being there, you just don't have a reason to expect enemies covering the map. You just don't. And that is actually something I really like about this one, is that you don't have a reason to, be like, oh, hey, we are here to kill 50 of this thing. Nah, don't work like that. And it's a good thing. Because, like this particular adventure zone would be a lot less fun if it was constant combat everywhere all the time. Which, unfortunately, is largely true of Nimbus, because Nimbus has, well, some of the more common endeavors that people go to Nimbus for are mass kill endeavors, which I'm not going to say that those are a bad thing, but I honestly think they're a good thing. It's just that it's basically the only reason why a lot of people go to Nimbus. Also, this bridge is incredibly fancy for a colony that has very few actual buildings on it. Whatever. Yeah, this is one of those things where I'm like, okay, I guess there's certain things they built first, and then there's the other stuff they haven't finished yet, or something. Anyway, though. Now, the fact that New Romulus is tied into the Tholian stuff, honestly, that's actually kind of cool. It's one of those things that reminds you that it's a universe where both of those things exist side by side. They're not separate entities, or they're not entities that are unaware of each other. Eh, love it. Good thing. Another thing with New Romulus that's really cool is the fact that you guys actually went to the time and effort of making a proper biosphere. Which, yes, okay, it's a very video gamey biosphere, but still. You come up with ideas for animals, plants, so on and so forth, and make something that actually looks like an alien planet, but more importantly, it looks like a planet that you could live on. Bad parts about this one. Well, it's the same thing about the whole thing. It's like when this place was new, I would sometimes come here to earn Romulan marks. Sometimes, not really all that often. Like the most time I've spent here recently was with that whole thing of Bond with Life, where run around finding all of the critters so that you could collect them for completing the list of things on the Bond with Life perk. Because you guys went to a lot of time and effort making creatures for this planet, and so this is one of the places that has the most of the life forms that you put in for the Bond with Life trait. Alrighty then. Well, that's New Romulus. Next. What was the next one on your list? Oh yeah, Kobalistan. Okay then. Wait, which character was I going to do that one on? Oh yeah, no. Yeah, I pre-staged characters standing in all of the places so that I wouldn't have to go to the time and effort of flying there while I'm streaming. Anyways, Galali. As a Delta recruit, I'm pretty sure I completed the entire Kabali story arc. Yeah. 41 to 41. Objectives completed. Yeah. So yeah, I did the entire Kabali thing here. Activate transporter. Okay, that's something interesting. I did kind of notice that, actually. I'm not sure why he's griping about changing instances, though. Whatever. Anyway. So, things that I consider to be, bad, I guess you could say. Notice how there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these green circles on the map. How many of them do I have the ability to teleport to? And yes, the Kobali Temple should probably be one of them, honestly. Yeah, there's only 3. This is a character who's completely done the entire thing. Also, the city outskirts is literally on the other side of this flipping bridge. Seriously. This one here, you literally have no reason to use because the fact that it's out of the way no matter what you're doing. Turning it on actually has more of an in-universe feel as a thing for people to care about from an in-universe perspective more than actually, you, the player, wanting to do anything with it, because you complete several tasks in this area, okay, to turn this teleporter on. Then you go do tasks over here. You don't come back here. Honestly, it's even questionable whether or not this is the shortest one when you want to go to the Kobali Temple, because you can just run straight down this road. There's not that many enemies on this road. Anyways, here's the side. Here's the side. I'm trying to remember what each of these places actually goes to. City outskirts, I think, is this one. Hillside base, upper hillside base. Yeah, here it is. This is the hillside base one. This is the upper hillside base one. You guys didn't put a teleporter here because that would be pointless and dumb, because you're literally just like walking to the other side of the river. What I kind of found very, very strange is that you don't have one up at the summit. What? There's like a full Kobali base there. Huh? I don't get that one. Okay, the fact that you guys have marked on the map the level of each area is kind of silly. Like, I don't need that information. Also, given the fact that it's only a difference of 2 levels, like, why not just make the whole thing? Okay, I know why you guys didn't do it. I do. You wanted people to level up as they progress through the Delta Rising storyline. I don't think the levels you marked on this map are actually going to coincide with that, though. Because these missions don't actually give you anywhere near enough XP to level from 51 to 52. So you're probably going to either get here, like, if you get here at level 51, you're going to finish all of the stuff here before you get to level 53. And, if you start here after level 53, yeah, whatever. Honestly, I would have just made the whole thing 1 level and just, like, not bothered having level variations on the map. I know why Neverwinter does that. Neverwinter does that quite a lot, actually. I've gotten one-shotted because of that. Neverwinter can actually have situations where an enemy is 20 levels higher than you because your level is being forcibly lowered, and then you get shot by... It's kind of dumb, honestly. Anyway, there's several things on here that are actually a lot of fun. Because, like, in terms of a thing that feels like it used to be a world that was like a proper lived-in world, this has a lot of that stuff. It's like this hillside stuff, those don't feel like areas that the Kobali lived in. But from an in-universe story perspective, they're not. They're areas that the Vadwar set up camp in because the Kobali didn't live in them, for the most part anyways. Now that actually, the implied storytelling here is actually quite good. The fact that I cannot teleport to the summit base still annoys the crud out of me, though. This. Oh, hey. Anyway, so what else is there to do? Now, I'm not going to do something silly like saying I think we should have the entire city be explorable, because quite frankly, I've seen what happens when you guys build an entire city to be explorable in City of Heroes. Okay, that was probably not you personally building anything in City of Heroes. I get it. You're a relatively new dev. You probably weren't around for that. Whatever. City of Heroes, having an entire city map for an instanced story mission. Yeah, that ended up being mostly decorative. Anyway, whatever. actually being able to look at it would be kind of cool, but I get the feeling that Taco Fangs or whoever built it didn't actually build it to be, shall we say, looked at from any perspective other than this one. Might unfortunate, but whatever. Anyway, though, this is actually a location that I quite like exploring. It has enough intricacies and whatnot that I can't say that I've memorized it. And some of the stuff on it is like genuinely really, really cool looking. Like you had the Vador ship parked on the hillside. And you can actually see it from here. And you're like, oh, we're going to walk over there. That actually looks like a, thing you would want to not just walk straight, because that's a cliff. Anyway, though, what else is there to say about this one? Found missions. That's an interesting idea. People who want to just, like, hang out here and just muck around with stuff on Kobali for hours, there's a lot of stuff you can do. If you're in a hurry trying to finish things for Delta recruit purposes, perhaps. In that case, you are probably not going to want to actually complete any of the found missions, because the found missions are filler. They're padding that doesn't have much of any reward. They don't have... They literally just make things take longer. I mean, if you are into that, cool, whatever. I actually am not in the habit of doing them, because while they are fun and all that, yeah, I do it once, like, oh, that was neat. Do I have a reason to do it again? No. I know. It's one of those things where it's just like, well, I wish there was more to it, but there's not. Can't think of anything else to say here. The way these Kobali forward bases are set up, I actually genuinely like how those are set up. This isn't a real forward base. It's just a teleporter shoved behind a building where no one's actually using it. That is actually one of the things that about this that's kind of interesting, is that there is actually a location on the map where it is like genuinely a Kobali base. It's just got overrun by the Vador. Like, actually, like, properly looks like it. This is one of those things where the conceit of having it be the same map for everyone means that you can't have players like drastically modify anything while they're playing the thing. Like, you can't go to that wrecked Kobali base and fix it up, because that would make your instance drastically different from the person who hasn't done that. But it's something I find to be a well, it's one of those things where it's like too complicated of an idea to actually be practical, I suspect. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Do I actually come here often? No. I mean, this is a great place to do damage endeavors, because this is the highest level of any of the ground battle zones. Because if I remember right, all of the other ones are stuck at level 50. Or lower in the case of Divis. So, also, I have 2 bridge officers assisting me here for even more ground damage. So needing to do, say, 100,000 plasma damage on ground. Kobali, great choice. And then I'm pretty sure there's an endeavor for shooting Vador, which, hey, come here. Other than that, there's not a long list of reasons to come here. It's like I said earlier, it's like earning marks. Sure, you can earn marks here. Yes, I could earn marks here. Yes, so many marks that I already have. I don't need more of. I know. But you could convert the marks to thousands of lithium. Yes, I could. Do I feel like doing that? Not right now. Anyways, moving on. Alright, so that was Kobali. What's next on the list? Dyson! Ah, yes. This one I actually split into two. So, the Space Dyson map. I spent a lot of time exploring this, studying it, and all that stuff when it was new. Then it developed a problem. Can you see the problem? There might be a way to fix this that I don't know of. It's very much a technical issue, though. It's like, for some reason, the game is just refusing, when I'm looking at it anyways, to properly layer transparency effects. So you get one transparency effect, and then all of the rest of them in the stack get ignored, which makes the space map here look... All of those wispy, glowy strands you guys put in the air just don't look like, you know, what they're supposed to. If you get close enough to them, they actually look like wispy, cloud-like things, but you have to get close enough to them that they're the top layer or what have you in the see-through stacking. The technical term. There's probably more than one technical term, honestly. It's like see here. You see where there's where it's having different numbers of transparency effects stacked, and it see how drastically different it looks above and below that line. Unfreaking real. And so you see how that cloud of smoke just disappeared as it went behind the energy streamer. I vaguely recall what this all looked like when it was actually layering the transparencies right, and it was unbelievably gorgeous. This is it's okay, but it's not designed to be layered like this, and thus it looks kind of bad because of being layered incorrectly. Anyways, so for the stuff you actually are supposed to be doing here, this is the most tedious, menial task anything, where the only in-universe logic behind why my character is here doing this is the simple fact that no one else is really, you know, should we say, qualified to do it. Oh yeah, that's like that transparency thing stacking wrong will actually obscure mission objectives sometimes. Now, things I love about this. The fact that you guys integrated the duty officer system with this, where you can actually just fly around and find duty officer missions. I love that. It's great. I don't actually bother with it often. But you know what? Coming to the Dyson Sphere and picking up duty officer missions is something that I do sometimes do. So, you know, in terms of neat ideas, yes, that was actually quite good. Kind of surprised you guys. Now, okay, see, the way that you fly to things and find a duty officer mission just next to this whatever weird spiky thing over on this side of the map, That is a lot of tinkering. I can see why you guys don't do that for most maps. But yes, like building all of this stuff was quite a lot of work, and when it was new, you would see people flying around in this lot. But as some people pointed out, the enemy spawn rates in these space zones are actually quite low. So most of the things that you have a reason to do here aren't very good. Like destroy Voss ships in Dyson Sphere. You actually get more of them when you trigger the final rush in the Undine space battle zone than you do from flying around the Voth battle zone. Admittedly, neither one of those is something that you can actually reliably trigger quickly. Because the Undine battle zone, you have to cycle through all of these zones in it, shooting Undine and not Voth, until you eventually trigger their final invasion thingy, which is the Voth. Now, in terms of weird alien architecture, oh yes, this is one of the best maps in the game. There is so much weird alien architecture here that it is amazing. Now, there's a lot of things people said about the Moth, which is to a certain extent fair, although some of it is just whining. It's like, oh no, the Moth has a reflective shield, and I died because I shot it with beam overload. Yes, now you know how to fight Voth. Anyway. Dum dum dum. Am I going to do anything with the ion storms? Well, actually, yes, actually. Why? It's a demonstration. So I've done this before. I actually know what I'm doing. And I just feel like doing it as a demonstration of why people don't bother with this. Oh, wait, what? Duty officer here. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's the other thing, is that these duty officer assignments really aren't all that. In terms of these XP numbers, there isn't a unique reward for these. Or even an interesting reward, honestly. I know, it's a micronebula. Honestly, having it...
Ship is under attack. Core shields failing. Target shields have failed.
Oh, that's right, because I've been the micronebula.
Target shields have failed.
Anyways. Let's move on to another one. Oh, you know what? I'll switch to weapon. Dum dum dum. Oh no! Imagine my shock and dismay. Wait. What's the other? Boredom. Yeah.
Target shields have failed.
There's another minute left. Okay. Yeah, this one respawned. I think the first one I did also respawned. Oh, this one wanted me to do a magnetic burst. Oh, wait, I actually flew out of them.
Target shield has failed.
Okay, this time it said ships plural, but there was actually... Whee! Daily mark box. And yeah, that's literally the only thing here. Like, that was it. That's the thing about this, is that actually kind of different from the fair, is that there's actually unique stuff on the fair that you can only get there, and here the only stuff is generic rewards. It has enough generic rewards to have some reason to come here. Like, you know, when you have a character where you need to rank up their duty officer stuff, this is one of the best places in the game to come. Thing is, that's a pretty niche reason to come here. Oh well. Anyway, enough about this one. And move on to another one. Oh yeah. Next up, we have the Dyson Ground map. So this is actually one of the places that I have been most. I actually personally find this to be a great way to farm dilithium and loot and several other things. Like, this is not what I personally consider to be the best place to farm for damage endeavors, but like second best approximately. Quite high up on the list of places to go when farming endeavors. And of course, there are certain endeavors that you have to do here because, Voth on the ground and whatever. Anyway, so today's task wants me to go northeast or west, whatever. Having 3 different zones, yeah, I can't say that I think it's an amazing idea. I don't think it sucks.
Personal shield losing power.
Yeah, it's hilarious on these guys how they have to turn around the hard way. Oh yeah, Dyson. This is a place that also has multiple options for Bond with Life. It's like there's like 2 different dinos, and you actually have the option to get the sandworm things here. Although, getting the sandworm things, there's several places you can get sandworms. Part of what I like about this one is that having a competent pair of bridge officers makes this so easy. Okay, both ground units. I actually genuinely like the variety in them. The fact that the developers clearly have the ability to decide how to place them. I mean, yeah. As a Foundry author, wanting specific both units was on our list of why can't we tell it which specific both units to use? Whatever. As a ground map, I love it. Especially the way you guys built the architecture from a space perspective. And then just, like, okay, you're on the ground looking up at that giant thing you saw in space. Love it. Great option.
Enemy target on enter.
Now, is this longer than a TFO? Yeah. I think that's actually a big part of what people complain about with it, is that it's not as quick as ISE. Like, people are like, oh, I went to do infected space. It's like, 1 minute, 20 seconds, or however long people normally do those these days. I know it's pretty ridiculous, whatever it is. And then people are like, why? What? We thought that everything should be fine. Lol. So teleporter up, yes. Okay. Am I going to actually like fully finish the zone? Probably not. Yeah, it's like the Battlezone ally control is below 50%. I could grind it until it's like completely done, but not this time. Oh yeah, that's a thing. Swarmers. Okay, the idea of swarmers is actually quite good. There are a few times when swarmers pop up and I'm like, really? Why? Why is this thing here? Get away from me. But there's like certain parts of the map where you will actually see them spawn in locations that just don't make sense. Oh well. Anyways. Come on, finish capturing the point. I'm actually nearly done with my daily tasks. Because, like, I've actually spent so much time in the ground battle zone that I memorized the patrol routes of several of the named NPCs, so that when I want to do a killing captain's endeavor, I just come here, look for them, and call it good. Like, these guys count as captains, so if you need to do captain kills, you can just kill a whole bunch of these guys. That is effective. Yeah, I know. These point capture things are meant to have multiple players on them. Yeah, that doesn't usually happen. My understanding is that the timer counts down a lot faster when there's multiple players here. And obviously no fog. Alright, that's 3 of them done. Request reinforcement. No, I didn't have enough. Okay, I need to... Oh, hey, captured the teleporter. That's a great way to earn points. And I got stuck in the tree.
Enemy targets on sensor.
Oh, that's weird looking. Scorch marks didn't fully whatever. I think I had to share them with another player. Oh, that created a lag spike. Oh, I only actually got 5 command credits for that? Oh, disappointing. Okay, there, that was enough. I think I'm done now. Anyway, though, the main issue people have with this one is the V-Rex killing accolade, which seems to require you to get in the majority of the damage on it, and not just, you know, the I'm helping level damage. Which, quite frankly, given the way this actually works and plays out in practice, I'm helping level damage would probably actually be more practical for the global endeavor. I mean, having it count as a boss kill because you hit it for like 5 damage, no, let's not go there. But counting it for the endeavor, yeah, maybe. Anyway, so what was the next one? Oh yeah, Mirror Badlands. Okay, I have to admit that the first time I did this, I found the interesting objectives to be a fun change of pace. After a while of tinkering with them on multiple occasions, I kind of find them annoying because of the fact that some of them have very fickle methods of how they're working. Like the one where you have to fly next to a moving object and stay with it. I forget the exact distance, but you have to stay very close to it. Close enough that it's genuinely a challenge to actually follow the thing properly.
The mirror universe bases are transitioning to our universe. Head to their
The
locations to stop
thing-
them.
Whatever.
The mirror
fine.
universe bases are activating. We have 10 minutes to drive back as many as possible.
I have to say, the fact that there are actually like 3 different bases is quite cool. I don't understand this. Why are there multiple planets floating in the sky? It doesn't make sense to me. And yeah, I've done this just, enough times that I just like reflexively know where to go. I don't need to have the thing tell me because I've done this before.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed. Warning. Ship is under attack.
Yeah, this is one of them. It's like this thing requires me to stay close to it in order to make it move. And as long as I'm here, it's fine. Yeah, its movement speed is awkward.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
Yeah, this one is certainly one where you can't just like abandon the objective and hope for the best. No, no, no. You actually have to sit here and wait for it.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Anyway,
Target's shields have failed.
oh, it's doing that partial transparency thing again.
Disable the power station that's orbiting the base. Shut down the portal generators to force them to switch to emergency power.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Warning. Ship is under attack.
Destroy the plasma control station and deactivate its auxiliary satellite. metaphasic shields have dropped. Focus fire on the plasma control station. The station is drawing power from an auxiliary satellite. Shut it down to drop the metaphasic shields.
Warning. Ship is under
Yeah.
attack.
The station's metaphasic shields have dropped. Focus fire on the plasma control station. Take repairs!
Oh, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I dozed off for a second.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Take repairs!
Oh, I need to go north. Oops. Yeah. I got sleepy and, forgot what I was doing. This is actually a thing that's kind of like an issue, though, with these space maps. It's like, this comes up with the Undine BZ2, is that, yeah, you do have a lot of stuff to do, but it's highly time consuming. Like with this thing with the moving satellite thing, you literally have to wait for a timer to tick down.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Warning.
Destroy the
Ship
plasma
is
control
under
station
attack.
and deactivate its auxiliary satellite. The station's metaphasic shields have dropped. Focus fire on the plasma control station.
Target's shield has failed.
The station is drawing power from an auxiliary satellite. Shut it down to drop the metaphasic shields. The station's metaphasic shields have dropped. Focus fire on the plasma control station.
Target's shield has failed.
Oh, we were actually pretty close to the time limit at this point.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Like
Make
a
repairs.
minute to kill the thing.
All three bases have been forced back. Excellent work. large force of Terran ships inbound. They must be making
Yeah,
a
this
final
part
push.
I'm not actually going to stick around for. It's been long enough.
All ships assemble to present a united front against the Terran forces.
Now, is that a great way of getting in ship kills, ship damage, and so on and so forth? Yes, actually. Quite good. Alright, but incredibly time-consuming, even compared to the stuff I did the Voth BZ. Alright, Undine. Oh, it's Planet Killer time. Fine, I guess. Yeah, this is in many ways very similar to the Terran Battlezone. It's just that the objectives are different. These are simpler, easier, I guess, as one way to put it. Do I think it's a bad thing making them more complicated? I mean, it's not the complexity that would be the problem, so yeah. It's all about how you do it, what you do with it, and all that stuff. Yeah, the stuff I was saying about the other ones, like, this is supposed to be fully visible. This objective marker is partially obscured by whatever this transparency overlay issue is. Yeah, we're just waiting for the timer to tick down.
The protective bubble is down. Go after the planet killer. The planet killer has been destroyed.
Now, the funny thing is that the massive ships that show up after you're done with the Undine is amusing because it's the easiest way to get boss ship kills. Oh yeah, that way. Yeah, in theory, you should be able to see them like this all the time. But sometimes you have these weird energy streamer things blocking it. Ugh, don't like it. Oh, hey, destructible torpedoes. Sure, why not? So, yeah, visually, again, I love how this is. Now, the fact that this one is kind of, like, weirdly goopy is, like, apparently something that you guys did as, like, an afterthought. It wasn't really part of the way this was originally designed.
Warning, ship is under attack.
Several interesting hints as to what you guys were originally
The
planning.
planet killer is invulnerable. Use the Klingon weapons to destroy its shielding. That's it. Finish off the planet killer.
Anyways. Oh yeah, I probably should have launched that. Whatever.
The planet killer has been destroyed. All 3 planet killers have been destroyed. Excellent work.
Okay, so yeah,
The Undine will return. But we
this
have
is actually a
relay
lot
that.
more
There is a
fun
massive Voth fleet
than
inbound.
the Allied Zone.
All ships,
It's
return
like
to
the
the
Allied
staging
Zone is
area.
more
We
I'm
must
here to
prepare for
look
the
at
boss.
things than I'm here to actually do things. The contested zone, which is where we actually have the doorway to the ground one. Yeah, that one was an interesting idea in terms of, you know, you fight over the things to get buffed. I actually kind of liked it. But as previously noted, that one has very low enemy spawns, seemingly. So trying to farm Voss ship kills there is
Destroy all the primates. This sphere will belong to us.
You better off coming here. I don't feel like doing that fight though. So moving on. What's left? The Gun Club. Yeah, Gunkra has issues with the transparency stuff, making mission objectives difficult to see. I really don't like it. Also, it's bad enough in that regard that I sometimes having difficulty figuring out what the heck the mission objective even is. Also, I'm genuinely not sure how working at Gonkra even is. I've heard rumors about it not actually being in working order in certain regards, and I'm genuinely not sure which of those rumors are true due to how rarely I've seen this actually complete like it's supposed to. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, aesthetically and what have you, you guys did come up with decent ideas to make a battle zone, that's for sure. Not my favorite. It's like of all of the ones I've done, this is the one I come to least because it just has the least to do. Like, oh, I'm here to get marks, whatever. If that's it, then I'm just never going to come here. And with that, I'm going to call it done. Don't really have anything left to look at, and much I hate to say it, I don't really have a whole lot of thoughts about this particular one that haven't been covered in one of the previous ones. Looks cool, does stuff. Yeah, other than that. Alrighty then. Well,